The piece that you were just listening to is one that I have known since my early childhood, but I never knew the title, and so I never could track that tune down till a few weeks ago when I discovered that there are search engines that will allow me to do this. What I'm going to show you here is exactly how I track down the title of this song in the hopes that you might be able to do the same thing with some of your mystery songs. There are a few things that you will need in preparation to do this search, so let's go through them. The first thing that you're going to need are a couple of cable connectors. One is a line splitter for splitting your audio signal to your speakers in two. This splitter has one male connection and two female connections. You're also going to need a cable with two male connections. Now what we're going to do is split the audio signal to your speakers in two. One signal goes directly to your speaker, and the other one goes back into your computer as audio input. Now on the back of your computer, these jacks are all marked. The audio output jack is, I think it's a lime green, and the line input is color-coded blue. When you make these connections in back of your computer, it is wise to turn your computer off so that you don't damage your soundboard. The next thing that you're going to need is a piano roll composer so that you can write out the tune on the piano roll just as you would plunk it out on a piano. The third and last thing that you need is a rudimentary knowledge of how to read sheet music. So let's get started. I'm going to start at my web browser, and what I have here is a listing of all of these melody search engines that I told you about. I got this list by Googling how to find a song with just the melody. Do my search, and that brought me this list. The search engine that I'm going to select is the one that works best for me. It's called MeDoMe.com. I'll go there right now. MeDoMe.com. Now the way this search engine works is this. There is a box up at the top that you click. Once you click it, it starts recording your voice, assuming that you have a microphone connected. Then you're supposed to hum the tune, and when you're finished humming, you click it again, and it takes what you hummed and searches its database for the best match. Well, I'll have to tell you right now that humming does not work. You won't get an answer by humming. That's why we've gone to all of the trouble of using piano roll and all of those connections in back of the computer. So anyway, we have our search engine. Now we need the piano roll. To get the piano roll, I'm going to open a new tab in my browser, and I'm going to Google Piano Roll Composer. And that brings me a listing. I'm going to select the very first one, JDM Cox Software, because it's a free download and it's very easy to use. I'll go there right now. And we see that JDM Cox has quite a few applications that are available. The one we want is number 3, Piano Roll Composer 2.52. Now we have two options that we can download. One is for a 32-bit operating system, and the other one is for a 64-bit operating system. So choose the correct one for your computer and download that software. If you're unsure of what kind of an operating system you have, simply click the Start button and go to your computer, and up at the top click System Properties. And on that window you can find out whether you have a 32 or a 64-bit operating system. After you download this software and open it, this is what you will see. The opening screen shows the operating manual, which for the most part you don't need because I'm going to show you the basic steps. But if you want to use this program for any other purposes, I would suggest that you copy this whole operating manual. It's not that long. And then paste it into a Word document, as I've done here. This is a little trick, and the reason I suggest this is that if you have any particular questions, you can use the search capability of Word to find the topic that you're interested in. For instance, if you want to find out how to set the time signature, you can click Edit, Find, and then enter time signature, and it takes you right to that topic. So going back to our piano roll, you can now close this window. I'll go through the basic steps of entering the notes for a tune of your choice. The first thing is to select an instrument, and the default instrument here is piano, which is good because a piano gives nice, crisp, clear notes. The next thing we want to do is to set the time signature. Right now we're in 4/4 time, and my song that I'm searching for is in 3/4 time. In order to change that to 3/4 time, I take my mouse over to the very left side of the staff and right click it. That presents me with a window in which I can select the number of beats per measure, 3 beats per measure, and a quarter note gets a full beat. So now I'm in 3/4 time. The next thing you want to do is to check some of the options that are available. I'm only going to click 2 here. One is to show the notes as I enter them, and the other one is to number the measures. One thing that you might want to adjust are the beats per minute. Right now we're set at 120 beats per minute, which corresponds to an allegro. We'll just leave it at that. Close out the options table. Now I'm ready to start entering my notes. For this piece, I'm just going to enter eighth notes because they give a nice, clear, crisp sound. So to enter an eighth note, I click the Edit tool, select Note Type, and then select eighths. Now I'm ready to start entering notes. To enter a note, I just place my cursor where I want that note to be entered and left click it. I can't show you this as I'm recording this because there will be some reverberation and echo, and it'll make for a sloppy presentation. So I'm just going to dissolve now and show you the entire melody as I've entered it. Well, here we are. I've entered all the notes. I'm going to hit the play button up at the top here to see if I entered all of the notes correctly. Perfect. You'll note that I scored this in the key of C. You can do it in any key. It doesn't really make any difference. Now we have all of the tools we need, and we'll just recap. Over at my web browser, I have my search engine, in which I have to click this little box and hum the tune. Well, instead of humming into a microphone as they asked, I'm going to play my piano roll. And I can do this because I've jury-rigged the back of my computer such that the output signal from the piano roll is fed back into the computer as microphone input. So with that understanding, let's now set things up. I'm going to reduce the size of the piano roll screen, and I'm going to move it over to the right-hand side of my monitor. Now I'm going to go to my search engine, and I'm going to reduce the size of that screen and move it over to the left side of my monitor. Now the plan is this. I'm going to click on this box to start recording, and as soon as the recorder starts, I'm going to race over here to this screen and hit the play button. That's the plan. So let's give it a try. When I click that box, what I get is a little window that asks for my permission to search for a microphone input. So I'll click allow, and once I click allow, I have to race over here and hit the play button. So let's do it. Well, it didn't work. Me Do Me did not hear any music. In truth, you're going to have to do this several times. It's very imprecise because we're working with sound waves and there's sometimes they're picked up, sometimes they're not. It's going to take a few tries to get through this and get some results. So rather than bore you with the effort of going through a half a dozen attempts, I'm going to present my final try, which gave me some positive results. Well, here we are finally with some results. What MeDoMe has done is it has searched its database for matching tunes and then ranked them. You can hear little snippets of each song by clicking on the icon. I have to tell you that the first two selections that MeDoMe came up with are direct hits. These are both the song that I'm looking for. The rest of them are close matches but not good enough. Unfortunately, the first selection is in Chinese characters, so I'm not going to get a title out of that. But from the second selection, I've learned the title. It's Toselli's Serenade. So now I'm done. All I have to do is go over to youtube.com and search for Toselli's Serenade. So I finally found the song that's been banging around in my mind for the last 65 years. I hope that you have the same degree of success. Thank you for watching.